If you don't know who I am, it's time we meet. My name is Paula, and ain't that sweet? And this is why you should listen to me, because I have the answers to where you want to be. What I want you to know is that I am not from here, and I had a very different career. Instead of getting a job like an average Jane, I'm a dancer and a singer, and I studied things arcane, like the brain. Studying the brain made it perfectly clear that only the organized brain solves problems, my dear, no matter how severe. And you will have all your answers right here. So let me take off my wrapping hat and welcome to my show, One Solution for Everything, which I discovered that there's only one underlying problem with everything that doesn't work. And in each segment of this show, I'm sharing different pieces of it. So let me introduce myself. My name is Paula Oleska, and I blend magic and science to create radical, rapid results. I'm a best-selling author, mindset maverick, procrastination wrangler, and a creator of the brain upgrade method, which allows me to create those radical, rapid results. Over the course of my 30 years in private practice, I estimate I worked with around 8,000 people in 5 different countries, helping them achieve these incredible successes in their personal and professional lives. And this is what inspired me to keep sharing that with more people, because why should you struggle when you have the answers within you? And this is why I like to start with this quote, which you may have seen before. And it's one of my favorite quotes that points the way to inside of you. This quote tells you that you have incredible riches locked inside. And we kind of know that, but the problem is, how do you reach those riches? How do you unlock this treasury within? And this is what I'm talking about, to give you access more to who you are and what you know within you. And in order to do that, I discovered over the course of my practice, that's a little bit of a summary for those of you who may have watched previous shows, that I want to share the philosophy or underlying principles behind what we are talking about in this show, which is a shift from what I call the old paradigm to the new paradigm. The old paradigm is what you have experienced in every educational setting, from kindergarten to university, and all the self-help programs you have taken. Old paradigm has to do with your mind controlling everything, and you should use your mind to solve all of your problems. I'm sure you've heard that. Use your mind to think positively. Use your mind to change your feelings. Use your mind to change your behavior. Well, it's easier said than done, isn't it? So I got so frustrated in an earlier part of my life that I wanted to find better solutions. And eventually I found them, and I call this the new paradigm. The new paradigm has to do with working with mind and body together, because your intelligence is really locked in the body. So let me summarize the essence of the new paradigm. First of all, your brain, which is my passion, is to study and teach about the brain in a very experiential way, not just some theories, but it's all very practical, as you are going to find out in this segment and also in the other segments if you go back and watch those. So your brain is a communication network that is spread throughout your entire body, not just the structure in your head, which you have been told. It's a communication network that spreads throughout your whole body. Your body is intelligent because it has all these currents of information circulating throughout your whole body and coordinating with the brain in your head. And what is the most revolutionary aspect of the new paradigm is that your mind in this context comes from your body. So your mind is no longer the top of the pyramid dictating everything to the rest of you. Your mind is a collaborator or even a servant, something that emerges from how you process information on a body level. And this is such a revolutionary concept that, first of all, some people find it difficult to accept. But then the other people, and that's among those people are many of my clients, who found it so fascinating because that really what allows you to achieve these much faster and much more profound results. Because if your brain is in the body and your body is intelligent and your mind comes from the body, then obviously the fastest way to change your mind will be to engage your body in very targeted ways. And when I say that to people, many of them say, well, I kind of experienced that because I could think more clearly when I went for a walk or a run, or I went to work out in a gym. The good news is that you don't always have to do strenuous, sweaty activities. You don't even have to change your clothes. You can do many of those brain organizing activities sitting at your desk. And some of them I already shared in previous segments, and I will be sharing some more as we go along. So the essence of the new paradigm is these 4 principles. And that's why I talk about the brain, because the brain is really the underlying solution for everything. But again, it's no longer just the brain in your head, even though I say the brain, and I will show you the picture of the brain in your head, but it really coordinates with the rest of you. So let's look at this model of tripart or triune brain that was discovered or put together by Dr. Paul MacLean. And we now have not the brain in your head consists of 3 parts: the behavioral brain, the middle brain, which is called the limbic system, which I call the emotional brain, and the thinking brain. So we already had a segment when we talked about the behavioral brain. We talked a little bit about the limbic system, and we talked a lot about the thinking brain. So today we are going to focus on the limbic system, and particularly one part of it. Your limbic system has so many feelings I can't even list them. Unfortunately, most people treat their feelings with disdain. Don't feel fear or anger is their constant refrain. What are they trying to gain? Is there really a way to not get upset and not do or say things that you will later regret? You bet. And the answers are all within you. So stick with the show and you'll learn what to do. So now it's time for my professor persona, when I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the limbic brain. And I bring my little helper. His name is Limbic Teddy. Hello. Hi, how are you doing? Well, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
so glad you're talking about me again.
That's right. I talk about you a lot. So let's wait and we'll call you back again later.
Okay.
So the limbic system is my favorite part of the brain. Of course, my preference changes depending on which part of the brain I'm teaching about, but the limbic system is such a favorite that I created a whole big audio program called Your Secret Brain, because this is part of the brain that people don't really talk about. There is one part of it that people do talk about, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I want you to know that your limbic system is such a crucial bridge between your reptilian brain, which I call the behavioral brain, and your thinking brain. Without the proper evolution and participation of your limbic system, you have a lot of behavioral deficits, and you cannot even think clearly because the brain develops sequentially. So if you, so the limbic system develops after you have completed the development of your basic reptilian, or as I said, behavioral brain. And the limbic system has a completely opposite functions. So it modifies the behavioral brain so that you know who you are, you know what's yours, you have a right to claim who you are, and what you own, but so you have better boundaries, but at the same time, you are open to relationships, you are open to feelings, you're open to connecting with people and the world. And that is because you are building brains in that emotional brain that fosters connection, allows you, gives you the equipment to develop relationships and connections. The limbic system also is a seat of learning. It contains a little part of the brain called hippocampus. And that is a memory center. So your limbic system, parts of your limbic system connect your emotions to memory. And that's how you can remember memorable experiences that have some emotional content. So this is what your limbic system does in general, but I want you to get acquainted with another part of your brain, which is right here. And this is called the amygdala. So the amygdala is this little part of your brain that sits around your temples on both sides. And it's called the amygdala because it's shaped like an almond. And that part of your brain is your alarm equipment. This is a part of your brain that generates fight or flight reactions. Okay, so time to change into my other persona and see if I can tell you a little bit more about it. Your fear and anger are here to stay. No matter what you do, they won't go away because they have a secret to convey that will keep you out of harm's way. Once you know the secret, you can keep them at bay. So fear and anger don't have to be here. Once you know the secret, you can make them disappear. So the secret, I'm not going to tell you the secret today. But there is a secret which I'm going to be revealing in one of the upcoming shows. So stay tuned. So here's my professor persona.
Hey, did you say they will disappear?
I think I have to change out of my professor persona because the Teddy wants my attention. Hey, Teddy, what do you want?
Hey, I think you said that they will disappear, but I don't want them to disappear. I don't want anything to disappear. These are my friends, even though I'm really scared of them.
Oh, your friends. Yes, I forgot about them. So let's bring them in. Hey, I am a self-righteous lion, and I roar. Whoa! And I'm going to roar at you when you do something I don't consider right. And I'm going to smack you. Bum, 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 bum.
Oh my God, you've become violent. I don't like that.
Well, it's just too bad in my nature. See, this is, Teddy, this is what I was talking about. Most people want that to disappear. But I'll tell you something that will be very comforting to you.
Really? What?
I'll tell you in a moment, but let's find out. Let's listen to one of your other friends.
Well, this is what I mean. Even though I'm scared of them, they are my friends. So I don't want them to disappear.
You know what? You're right. Because, and let me stop the share for a moment. Because, and here's my professor persona again, because there is a secret formula that makes the manifestation of fear and anger disappear, but they don't disappear. And I think, Teddy, you would really like to hear that. They get transformed.
Really? They get transformed? Wow, and they don't disappear? Oh, that makes me so happy. So what happens when they get transformed?
Well, let me show you. So I guess I'm putting away my professor persona and let's see what the self-righteous lion will have to say. Hey, I now don't have to roar because you said the secret words. Well, I didn't tell you yet what the secrets are, but the lion already knows that. So instead of getting angry, I now have access to your knowledge and your needs, and I help you take action. See? So I don't want to smack you because I can just encourage you to take action. And when you take action, you become so much happier. And I help you know which action to take. So we can work together and I will support you. That's wonderful, right? So the lion from being self-righteous, just becomes a wise lion, and it helps you take action. Let's see what happens to the mouse.
I'm still kind of scared, but it's very different because instead of hiding, I'm going to look around and to make sure that there is no danger. So I don't have to hide. I'll keep my ears open and I'll keep my eyes open so I can look around and make sure that you are safe. Because I want you, when you take those actions that Lion is talking about, I want to make sure that you are not putting yourself in danger. So I will now be your protector. Bye.
Well, you see, this is what happens when you learn the secret.
Oh, I'm so happy. You made them transform. I didn't know that. I was sometimes really scared of the lion. But now I know that we can work and play together. Yay! Come on, guys. That's so nice. Come on, lion. Okay. Now let's do my favorite activity, which is dancing. Da, 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 da.
All right, we can put them to sleep. And as I said, there will be a secret revealed in one of the upcoming shows. So let's summarize what we covered today. We covered the three-part brain and the limbic system, which is the seat of your emotions. And we specifically covered the very mysterious part of your brain, the amygdala. So the amygdala governs your fight or flight. This calls for my professor persona. The amygdala governs your fight or flight reactions. And when it's not modified, it will just automatically make you feel either angry and roar like a lion, like our self-righteous lion, or get scared and hide like our little friend, the timid mouse. But when they are modified because you know the secret words, they transform. And then instead of being uncontrolled, they become your friends. And they are some of the keys to unlocking your inner intelligence or your inner genius. So when the roaring lion gets transformed, he becomes a wise lion. He allows you to tap into the reservoirs of your inner knowledge that allow you to make better decisions and take action, especially take action on your own behalf. And then our timid mouse, instead of hiding, is now transformed into your watchful eye that's going to check all the situations you put yourself in to make sure that you are safe. That's the function of your amygdala, especially when it's modified by the secret that resolves your emotional upsets. So in the subsequent segments, we'll be talking a lot more about emotions and what to do, and you will eventually learn the secret. So let me tell you. So I guess it's time to put my professor persona away, and let me tell you how I can help you. Most of my clients came to me because they were suffering from some kind of trauma. Sometimes it was a minor trauma, maybe like a minor accident, or maybe they had a difficulty coping with their families. So many of my clients have problems with their siblings, not to mention with the parents. Everybody struggles with conditioning we inherited from our parents, because conditioning is nonverbal and it stays in our bodies, and we unconsciously imitate what they do or what they taught us. So I'll give you an example. One of my clients recently, she's starting a business, and we are working on her being able to be in charge of her business venture. And something came up recently, and a little activity that had to do with her stomach. And in previous sessions, she mentioned that she doesn't eat properly. She essentially eats once a day or just eats randomly. She eats relatively healthy food, but not enough. And so we put that on back burner, and we were trying to find, we were not trying to find out what it was about, but it was on the back burner. So we identified the emotional issue through my special method. And the issue was, I release my desire to impress others with my performance. So I asked her what that was about. And she initially said, yes, I'm affected by approval from my mother and my father. And then as she was working with this little exercise, she said, if it doesn't show on the outside, I'm not going to do it. And that was the problem with her eating. Nobody was going to see it. Nobody was going to applaud it. Nobody's going to approve of it. So she didn't do it. But now, because we transformed it through the activity, she is free to start eating in a healthy way that is serving her. She needs to eat, as she said, she needs to eat a lot more to feel energetic. So this is perhaps an unusual example, but this is what happens in all the sessions when we unleash people's inner intelligence, inner genius. So in her case, I didn't make any suggestions. I didn't know what that issue was about for her. But after she was doing this very gentle activity that had to do with her stomach, she discovered it by herself, literally in minutes. And this is what happens with my clients. They just come up with their own solutions. One of my favorite examples also is another woman who had another issue, which is very common for women who work with me, because she had a desire to please people. And the issue came up that I released my desire to something about to take care of others. So I asked her what it would feel like if she didn't take care of people. And she said, if I don't take care of people, they will get angry. So just like with the other client, we did some very gentle activity for about 10 minutes. And at the end of that activity, I said, how does it feel now? And she said with a smile, if I don't take care of others, they will take care of themselves. And it's going to save me tremendous amount of time. So again, I didn't prompt her. I didn't discuss it with her. We unlocked something within her inner genius, that came up with this completely different attitude that freed her up to interact with other people in a completely different way. So if you think that working that way and unleashing your own inner genius can support you in achieving your goals, transforming your relationships, and perhaps your work as well, you can email me at paula@brainupgrade.biz to schedule your completely free consultation or a strategy session where we can discuss what you want to achieve with your newly unleashed intelligence and how you can go about it. So I look forward to seeing you and talking to you soon. And at least I will see you next Tuesday.